Hello, Shiante Jones here. Hope y'all are doing well. I am a financial coach and I specialize in helping mid-career professional women eliminate five-figure credit card debt so they can have more financial flexibility in their lives. And so it's been a little while. Well, it feels like it's been a long time since I've been on, but it's actually only been a couple of weeks. With being quarantined and coronavirus and everything, time just all runs together, and it's like one big long day. But I wanted to come on today to talk about 5 reasons I help women with their money. So a question I get sometimes is, why did I decide to specifically focus on helping women and doing financial coaching for women in particular? And to be honest, just starting out, when I first started out, I wasn't specifically targeting women, but that tended to be who I ended up working with. But I just honestly felt just more drawn to helping women, maybe because I was a woman myself, and so that was initially it was just like, oh, I was more drawn to helping other professional women. But there are some deeper reasons behind it, and some things that I wanted to point out as reasons why helping women with their money is important to me. And so that's what I wanted to take some time out today to talk about for this live. So one of the first reasons that I decided to help women is really industry representation. So personal finance is an industry that has long been dominated by, frankly, white men. The marketing and the messaging is really geared towards, men or, white men, and it can be intimidating and unrelatable. And so I wanted to bring representation to the industry. So as a, black female, African American professional woman, I wanted to come and show other women and people of color that if I can do it, they can do it as well. You don't have to come from, it doesn't matter your background. I grew up in a single family home with a single mother, middle class, probably kind of somewhat lower middle class mother, and I was first to go to college. So you can come from any background and still start building wealth, creating the financial future that you want, building, financial security for you and your family. And it doesn't matter where you come from. So like I said, if I can do it, you can do it as well. And I just wanted to see women be financially secure and independent and self-sufficient. That was something that has always been important to me. I wanted to be able to always stand on my own and take care of myself. I did never wanted to have to worry about money. And so I just feel like as women, or really anybody, should be able to stand on, to accomplish being self-sufficient in their own right. Having a partner, getting married and those type of things, that should just help to strengthen what you all are able to build together. But you should be able to stand alone and stand strong on your own. So that was one of the things that was important to me. And I personally know the benefits of having financial flexibility and having, being built on a solid foundation. And so being able to pay off debt, being able to maximize retirement accounts, being able to have a fully funded emergency fund, being able to have the flexibility to do different things that I want to do and to start, building net worth and building wealth. I knew the impact of that on my own life, and I wanted to help other women have that as well. And at the end of the day, I don't want money to be the thing that stops us from being able to make the impact that we need to make. In fact, I want money to be the thing that helps us to make more impact. I mean, at the end of the day, you need financial resources to do a lot of different things. Whether you want to give, have philanthropic aspirations, or whether you want to build generational wealth for your family, whether you want to do some other type of charity work, or whether you just want to make good money for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So I want us to be able to, take care of our finances and to use it to make the impact, excuse me, impact that we're supposed to have on this world. The world needs what we have to offer, and I don't want money to be a hindrance to that. Okay. Reason number 2 is being breadwinners. More and more women are, we're earning more, six-figure earners and everything like that. Women are increasingly being the breadwinners in their household. So it's important that that we feel empowered and in our money with our finances, and that we know how to manage them. Particularly in households, women heavily influence the consumer buying decisions in their house. Whether that's buying a house, if she doesn't like that house, you're not gonna get that house. buying clothing, particularly for children, and they're typically buying the kids clothing, groceries. A lot of times the women will do a lot of the grocery shopping, and vacations. A lot of times women are planning the vacations for their families. So we are heavily involved in making the consumer buying decisions for our family. So it's important that we know the overall picture of our family's finances, so that when we're making those decisions, they're sound decisions for our families and what we're able to afford. Um, the other thing is that women are typically more prone to outlive their spouses, right? So I mean, a lot, just life is just general life expectancy. Women tend to live a little bit longer. So it really bothers me to hear about stories where women are left high and dry because of either their partner has passed away, or after the divorce they're left just in shambles, and they had and it's just because they had no clue about what was going on with their family's finances. Maybe they just kind of left it alone, let their husband handle that, or let their partner handle that, and they just had no clue what was going on. And so when it came time to, so they didn't really know how to manage it. They didn't know what was going on. They, maybe the situation, their financial situation wasn't that great, and they just didn't know. And so I hate to hear stories like that, whether a woman has chosen to not be involved voluntarily, or whether they, there was some type of controlling thing going on where they weren't really kind of quote allowed to be involved. I just don't like hearing that at all. So a woman should be aware of what's going on, and engaged in what's going on with the household finances, and that goes whether she is the breadwinner or not. We need to be engaged and know what's going on. A third reason is career challenges. So there are certain things that as women we that tend to impact us more than it is likely to impact our male counterparts. So one is being primary caregivers a lot of time. We tend to have, our careers tend to be impacted more by being a caregiver, whether that's a caregiver to our children or to our parents, or even to a spouse, maybe in certain situations. It could be being a single parent. A lot of times the children end up with their mother. And that could be lead to result in more needing more time off, maternity leave, or just time off anyway, just to take care of your children or your caregiver responsibilities. It could also lead to not taking certain positions at work. So maybe promotional opportunities you have to not pursue because of maybe they require too much travel, or maybe the time the hours might be too long, or might be too demanding that you just don't have to give because of your home life responsibilities. So those are things that can impact women disproportionately, and that has a big impact over time. Because it can impact your salary. If you're not able to take certain promotions, then you aren't able to build your income as much, which then has ongoing impacts, over compounding impacts over time, about what you can put into your retirement account, what you're able to bring home and do and build within your own wealth. So that makes it even more important to be able to maximize the salary and the income that you do have, since we know that can be disproportionately impacting women as far as childcare. Another thing that is a factor in the career space for women is, the pay gap. So there's a gender pay gap, and it's gotten better over years, but there's still an undisputed gender pay gap, and that particularly impacts women of color even more. So that's something to always think about when it comes to women. That is just something that's prevalent in our society, of having that pay gap. And as women, we need to be able to, again, maximize the money that we do have coming home, and the income that we do have, because of those type of things, that unique challenges that we face as women that impact our careers. A fourth reason is what I'll call academic advancement. So more women are seeking higher education and advanced degrees, which can often lead to more student loan debt. Student loan is out of control in the U.S. And a lot of people have, thousands of dollars of student loan debt, some of it from undergrad, some of it from advanced degrees, master's degrees, or even PhDs and everything, doctorate degrees. And so this was, I actually have a undergraduate degree and an MBA, and I was able to pay off my student loan debt. And this is something that that's really important to me, because I hate to see people saddled with student loan debt. And I know for a lot of people, some loans may be required, but there still is a way to go about trying to do it where you minimize the amount you take out, or trying to find other ways to cover some of your educational expenses. So for example, with me with undergrad, I purposely went to a school that was in state for lower tuition, and also so I could get some state scholarships. I also got academic scholarships that I applied for. And then I just really, only accepted student loans for what I absolutely needed. So that was just even coming in from high school, I just kind of again had that mindset to do that. And so when I graduated from undergrad, I only had about $11,000 in loans, and that included me being able to stay off campus my junior and senior year. So being able to afford those living expenses. And I was able to pay that undergraduate student debt off in about 3 years. And then once I went to, I decided to get my MBA, and I purposely looked for a in-state program that was, and found one that was very reasonable, very affordable. Got in-state tuition, was able to get some tuition reimbursement through my employer. So I only ended up, which my employer paid for about 65% of my MBA. So I was able to cash flow the rest of it without taking on any student loans, and finish my degree, my master's degree, MBA, without having any student loan debts. So there's just ways to try to, when it comes to education, a lot of times we do need to get those advanced degrees, but trying to learn how to do that in a way where you don't have to take on as much debt and make sound decisions around it, and learn and figure out ways to cover those educational expenses. So that's another reason that more women are tending to get their advanced degrees. They need to know how to make those financial decisions, manage their money appropriately, and try to minimize the amount of debt they're taking on. And number 5, a fifth reason is about building wealth. So generally speaking, women tend to shy away more or be intimidated more by investing, but in making sound investments is a key component of being able to build wealth and to grow your net worth. And so myself included, for a long time I tended to keep too much in my savings account, just letting money sit there rather than putting it to work, actually investing it and making it grow. So in order for your money to grow, you have to invest it in something. It doesn't have, whether it's the stock market, whether it's real estate, whether it's a business, there's some kind of way you have to employ your money to actually make it grow if you want to actually build wealth. So making a good income in itself is not enough if you have it just sitting in a savings account, barely keeping up with inflation. And so just in general, women tend to, like I said, be more, risk adverse, not wanting to invest, and have the money just sitting in an account rather than really employing it to do more with it and actually help it to grow. And so some of that is a mindset shift, and some of that is just being more educated about investing and getting more comfortable with it, and taking some of making it not so intimidating and simplifying it. So those are really the 5 reasons, and actually some reasons were kind of embedded in there. Some additional reasons were kind of embedded in there of why I decided to work with women. It's not that I only work with women, like I wouldn't work with a man at all, but those are the reasons why I chose to focus my financial coaching practice on coaching women in particular and helping women in particular with their finances. So just to recap, that's 1, industry representation, 2, women being breadwinners more, 3, the career challenges that women face, 4, academic advancement as they get more advanced degrees, and 5, just so they can feel more comfortable doing what they need to do to actually build wealth for their families. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions about anything, or if you could use some help with your money, particularly trying to eliminate your credit card debt, my program, my signature coaching program, Well Managed Money, currently has some openings available. So if you are interested in getting a plan for your money to pay off your debt, to build your savings, to advance your finances, you could schedule a complimentary consultation. Like I said, no pressure, just to talk and see if the program's a good fit for you. And you can also send me a message, and we can schedule a time to get together and talk about what your needs. All right. But you guys enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you next time.